Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. Hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. We're going to look at the law of kinds from Genesis chapter 1 and see how that has really been strengthened and shown true through recent scientific developments, especially the discovery and the understanding of deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. So thanks for being here. We're using kind of as a discussion starter, the creation versus evolution. Dr. Mullenpaul, sometimes we read a little bit from the book, sometimes we read a lot from the book, but we just use them to kind of discuss. So thanks for being here, and God is our creator. So he's in chapter 17 here, and it says, how does the theory of evolution contradict the law of kinds? And so we know everything produces after its kind. So this is kind of where the theory of evolution versus the Bible is. Everything in fixation of species, which we see all through the fossil record, not seeing the chains of evolution, not links, but the whole chains of evolution that we should see. Cambrian explosion, everything's fully formed, fully filled. Or can there be transmigration of the species? Or are there genetic walls, which seems to be the scientific consensus today that there is. So he goes into why can't dogs breed with cats and make dats? Well, you know, we know of ligers and mules and these type things, but listen to what he said. The Creator designed each kind to remain separate rather than blend. Each kind of living creature has its own code or gene, can produce only its kind. Variations are caused by variable forms in the same genes called alleles. Abundant variety is possible in each kind, but not between kinds. And this is how you have incredible dog species, but they're all canines, they're all dogs. And that's how we have incredible variation between humans, but we're all humans. Bible doesn't talk about races of people, we're all of one blood. And so selective breeding produces different varieties. However, when all the dogs were left together after a few years, the mongrels would have less variety. I've got my notes in here talking about recumbent DNA. Macroevolution, or the transmigration or crossing of genetic walls, has never been observed. Large-scale biological change has never been observed. Now there's DNA splicing, there's all these Island of Dr. Moreau experiments we're reading about now, and these type things, but this is intelligent design manipulating it. It's not happening in nature. There is just one mankind. So then it goes into our peppered moths examples of evolution. Now, Jonathan Wells in Icons of Evolution does a masterful job showing all the scientific data there. First of all, they were still moths just because the trees turned black from pollution, and then he only had black moths instead of white moths. We now know that is because there were bird predators, that the white moths stood out against the black tree trunks, and the birds came and ate them. And that's why there was the variation of the species, but not a transmigration of the species, not any upward mobility of the species. Even Darwin's finches, he goes into that. Again, Jonathan Wells does the best job on that. Much variety in their bill size, coloration, other habits. They were still finches. And now they know the reason the finch beak size was different, because they were migrating from the South American homeland, and at times of drought, the longer finched finches could reach down and get the worms, and in time where the worms were closer to the surface, the shorter billed ones could get down and get the worms. But you're just talking micromillimeters of beak length, and they're all still finches. So the law of kinds in violet. You plant an orange seed, you get an orange tree. God bless you. See you later. Bye-bye.